Well, hello and welcome back to the iHealth channel, the Fit and The Fab channel, and iHealth Radio. Another day, another show, another guest. Now, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had a guest on the station and on the channel, and she told us about her life and how it all changed when she met a dude, somebody who really was a motivation and a change of everything that she wore and then she did, and it was just an inspirational journey for her and a whole shift in how she did things. So that was our guest, Batista Grimaud, and she did refer to herself at the time as Dr. Fitness USA, but she did say that the whole story began with Mr. Fitness USA. So guess what? Today we have Mr. Fitness USA himself with us. The one and only Stephen Hercy. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. You know, on the way driving here, I was thinking of that Bob Dylan song, "The times are a changing." So we're actually in a changing time. So my real title is I'm an international body designer, not Mr. Fitness, because that's like refers to a competitor. I'm much more of an education person, and I'm more of an innovator.
I love those things. Well, we're going to talk about all that.
Sure.
So Stephen, I know you said times are changing, and you're right. I mean, you're in California, right?
I'm talking about the world changing. I'm not talking about the time change.
But you're in California. So
Yes.
so how are things around there right now? I mean, I know it's been rough, with COVID, and any updates, any changes, any shift in the right direction?
No, it's very quiet. It's just like a lot more traffic, and it was ideal when people actually stayed at home.
Well, listen, it was quiet, right? You're
Yeah,
back to the LA traffic and all the crazy highways, right?
exactly.
Well, listen, it's not any different from the East Coast, I'll tell you that much. So times are changing, and I'm not sure what direction they're going. I mean, it's a little crazy all over the world. Stuff we hear, stuff we see, but it is what it is, right?
Sure.
Now, you're an innovator. You're a body sculptor, fitness, designer, I would say. Why is that? How did you come up to be that? I mean, I'm sure early on when you started in the fitness, it was something you enjoyed, but then you took it to the next step and you helped a lot of people along the way.
Well, if we go back in time into history, it would show that I'm the world's first body designer. There were car designers, furniture designers, but no body designer. So people knew about exercise and they knew about maybe a personal trainer, but they never looked at the concept of that if you want to really take your body to the next stage, well, no matter where you're at, you need to go to a good clothing store, somebody that knows how to take measurements, and get yourself a new suit. So people don't look at it that way. They decide to exercise, and it doesn't matter if they're in a new suit. They just think, oh, I'm exercising. So there's been a lot of ignorance in the world about what exercise is, because when we talk about exercise, no matter wherever a person is at, that's exercise. If they took themselves away from the table, that's exercise. If they go for a walk, that's exercise. If they go swimming, that's exercise. What they don't ask is any clarifying questions. If I'm at this age or that stage in my life and I wanted to exercise, what is it that I'm actually looking for? Like if you wanted a lawyer, or a doctor, you would ask what specialty they actually create. So it's not that the exercise world, it's a wonderful opportunity for people, but most of the time through the media, the hype that they give people about losing weight is a total lie. Okay, so I'll give you an example, and we're not picking on it because I work well with chiropractors. But when you go to a chiropractor, most people are thinking of getting a popping sound or some type of an adjustment. But so the idea of a chiropractor is to establish mechanical function. Okay, so if your neck is twisted, they want to line up your spine or your vertebrae, and so that the oxygen flows through your body properly. But the step two that they do is they actually, not most of them, put you on this type of table that's a roller, which actually bruises the spine. Then they come into the room and they show you an x-ray, and they explain about all the misplacements of the vertebrae and how if they signed up for, like personal trainers, 20 adjustments, that your body is magically going to show up magnificently. Okay. Sometimes they have personal trainers, sometimes they have a little strength training program, but most of them, more often than not, they're missing the main component to healing. You can go to the chiropractor, you can get adjusted, you can work on nutrition, things like that, but you must go to the gym on a specific program and strengthen all your muscle groups as a whole so that it holds the adjustments in place. So I'll give you an example which might make sense.
Sure.
In Dr. Fitness USA, we look at posture. We can look at a person if they're sitting a lot or they have poor posture and they have what they call forward head movement, where their head slumps forward, like when somebody's depressed. They go to the chiropractor and the chiropractor keeps adjusting them. Okay. The way we look at it, we create a magnitude of exercises like magnets that pull your neck back into place without the adjustment. So that's more permanent. Because if you don't have strong muscles or they're not exercised in an appropriate way, the head will keep on slumping forward. The second thing is if you have an exercise program, you don't know where the person is at emotionally. Okay.
It's true.
So in our system, we override the nervous system by increasing their strength 20 to 50% about 20 minutes, which controls brain function. So when people say they're not motivated, it's just that they just don't have the car to go shopping. It's as simple as that. You know, the media plays it really big, but it's your life. Life today is very complex, so it's better to have a simple method so that you form a habit and you actually exercise. It's people say I don't have time. Well, when was the last time you brushed your teeth? So they don't look at exercises the same way because nobody ever introduced them to what the joy of having a car and being the master of whatever journey you want to send. And second of all, if they did have a car and they got in and they used Google Map, it's amazing how it'll give them directions of how to get from one place to another in a way they never thought possible. So Dr. Fitness USA becomes your Google Map guide. We create a map, and just like a chessboard, we guide you through your journey in bettering your body through specific instructions that work on an ergonomic plane that takes your body to a certain level of understanding so that you can function independent of anybody else.
Wow. Well, so you put a lot of concepts in place. So I'm gonna have to break it down a little bit.
Yeah, I could slow up. You know, it's
no, you're doing good. You're doing it.
When I talk about the world changing, when you go back, when we talk about the world changing,
Yeah.
You know, people say the gyms are closed down. Okay, there's 12, 15 companies, $1 million companies that are producing incredible types of exercise equipment and putting them in $1 million gyms But the little guy on the street is saying, oh, my gym is closed. I don't like the gym. What are you kind? The gyms today are like country clubs. They're $1 million places where you can have the proper tools to work your body in any direction you want. So I personally go to a real gym because when I go there, I see healthy people. And that's motivating in itself. Then, of course, I follow my program. But the gym takes you out of your comfort zone and it puts you in the country house
Well,
so that you can enjoy what you're doing.
it's true. I mean, just the fact that you're going to the gym and, it's like the environment, right? You're in the environment, there's competition. You see other people working out. You want to do good. You want to look good. You want to make it happen. When you're home, or you're by yourself or you're not doing it, it's a little less motivating.
Well, you don't have the tools either.
Well, that's true. I mean, well, even if you have, some people buy those machines that have different angles and all stuff, and it's not the same as having the free weights and all the.
A normal woman can leg press 275 pounds to 375 pounds easily. Now, where in any home gym you can exercise your legs with that much effort or force comfortably. It's not going to happen. But here's where the times are changing. Besides the gyms actually expanding the availability of magnificent types of equipment, the gyms today are filled with young adults. The young generation knows what it's like to have fun with their body. They can do everything else, but they're flocking to the gym amazingly. Now, if you look at women or men between 45 and 60 or 70 years old, this is where the women are at. The women are going to seminars and trying to learn how to make more money or be a better business person. So they sit on a seminar for 3 or 4 days, nonstop. Okay, so that means their body is inactive. And then they come home, and because that's how they sell seminars, the information is so impactful, they need a few weeks to figure it all out. Now, if you ask them, did you exercise this week? They'll say, oh, I have no time. Now, if you look at their physical body, they're 20 or 30 years older than they ought to be. So in some senses, they're creating an unhealthy America, and they're not being responsible for who they are. So I find sometimes when I see couples, sometimes they work out together. More often than not, they actually could be married, but we call it they're single in the relationship. They don't understand what their responsibility is. Say, women need to go to the gym to maintain physical health. What is physical health? On the Dr. Fitness program, we get women to come out of their intellectual mind and travel back into their body where they feel comfortable and feel lusciously magnificent in their spirit. Okay? Now, we send men to the gym because they usually, excuse the expression, lose their male characteristics, and they need to work out with weights to create a more manly body and to be more responsible. So right now, you have a dynamics where the women are too strong and the women are pathetically weak. And I know there's men out there, they say they know how to train. In what century did you know how to train? The piece of equipment that you're training on is from 30 years ago. You know, so I give the analogy that we have a corded phone, right? But the young generation knows about the iPhone. Okay, there's lots of opportunity. So people, men or women, are not flexible in the way they conduct their behavior. So let me expand on that. Okay, so let me say, okay, so because people want to know, Dr. Physicist, how does your day run? And I say I'm the YouTube detective on YouTube, but they say, well, how does your day run? Well, the thing is, when you're working with women, they become too powerful. Okay, they don't. In other words, if they're looking for an exercise program, they don't do enough research to know who they're dealing with and what is it that they really want. So it could be you that they're talking to. So they call you up and they become the interviewer. They don't ask any questions. So I know where I'm going with my conversation. So they say, so you say, okay, I have a program that you lost weight, and the next step is to increase, to be involved in strength training. One is it changes your metabolism. And second of all, women need to create more red blood cells because they have less, and that creates oxygen, and you get leaner. And they say, I don't feel comfortable, or I don't think we're a good fit. Now, would they talk that way if they're talking to Tony Robbins? Okay, so here's the logic. When we're at work, there is no difference between a male or a female. We all want to be respected for our logic.
Sure.
Now, in any business, when somebody says, and I'm not talking about in exercise, because in exercise they can say it's uncomfortable or it's hurting my body. That's something different. But in the business world, anytime a woman or a man says, I feel, you cannot negotiate with a feeling. That's sexism. You can say what you think or what you want or what you're looking for, but don't say, I don't feel comfortable, or I don't think it's a good fit, or I'm not ready. These are wasteless expressions. And while you're talking about it, your body is getting older by the minute. And what I speak, I have lots of experience. I am 73.
Well, looking good for 73, man.
Yeah, they say I'm looking good, but I practice what I preach. I go to a gym 2 or 3 times a week and I work out. And my wife, Batista, who you've met, I've driven her to the gym 2,733 times.
You count those things?
I have a physical calendar for the last 11 years, if you can see.
Damn.
And every time I come home and I put a red triangle on, it means that she's getting younger. You understand? She's getting younger because she's doing strength training on my program. Because for men, they have to understand that when women have too much intellectual information, they get older prematurely. And for men that fell in love years back, it's very frightening to see the flower that he once met turn into the ugly duckling. Because we can't do anything about it, but we can drive our women to the gym so that they can have a fun time with their body. And they don't do it. They feed off each other. They're in the same shoes. So in body design, I always throw in the works are called Young, relationship self-defense, who's holding you back, why do you think that way? I start to get them to think on their feet, because the system is always set up to give them feedback of what's comfortable or uncomfortable. Like when I go into the gym, I could use a machine. It's called a Smith machine, and there are 2 of them in the gym. The one to the left works properly, and the other one doesn't. So people get on a machine and it's not oiled properly or doesn't function properly, and they think, well, I must be getting weaker. Or you put the bench, like some guy, he's like very muscular and he's being a smarty pants. So he's doing what they call a Smith machine press. And I'm thinking to myself, my God, he's got the bench and the machine backwards. But he's not thinking.
Interesting.
He's not thinking. Okay. Or I see him do a dumbbell incline press, and what happens is he's starting off with 55 pounds because he's got a coach. Well, he's supposed to be starting off with 80-pound dumbbells. So he's 30 pounds away from his starting weight. When it comes to a bench press, he's 100 pounds off. So be wary of personal trainers who just dictate to you to work out harder than you would by yourself. You have to actually mark it down, and so that it's quantifiable, because every body part needs a certain amount of resistance in order to flourish. And then you have to actually put it together like a yoga master so the music is in tune. So when I go to the gym, there's a lot of great people, but there's a lot of people exercising, but the tune that they're using is sort of amusing, actually.
It's not synced properly.
Yeah, yeah, so here's an example. So the gym is a fun place to be. It's never boring. There's so many things going on there. Every walk of life is in a gym. It's not one particular person. Every race is in the gym. I see a foreign woman who maybe almost a grandmother. She's getting into a leg press and she's doing 800-pound leg presses. Now, I didn't suggest that, but you'll see a lot of interesting things in the gym. It doesn't mean I'm going to do that, or I would even suggest something like that, because if we could look at the power in her lower body, but her upper body has never been developed properly.
Again, so Steven, I mean, you've covered quite a bit of ground here, and again, I'm still going to try to break it down just slowly for our
Sure.
audience. So there's a couple of pieces. First, we talked about time and aging. Obviously, that is a big deal. I mean, that's one thing
Okay.
we cannot stop. Time is going to continue, and we're going to just have to either, reduce how we change and transform by taking
Yes.
care of our bodies, or eventually, just to your point, age sooner than we should in terms of timing. I mean, you can look a certain age, and I've seen that. I mean, some people look much older than their true age, and vice versa, right?
Okay.
So, and there depends on many factors: their genetics, the environment, how they treat themselves, what they do for a living, stress, all the components, happy life in the family, whether a spouse, significant other, whatever the case may be. So it's a lot of these things. Also, food, nutrition. So you mentioned nutrition. And before that, I mean, you actually hit on a point where you said there's so many programs out there, which is true. Everybody, I mean, you turn any channel right now, there's so many formulas and so many concepts of health and fitness and nutrition and wellness, and they're all kind of tied around the same topic, but they're different angles, right? And everybody, I'm sure someone watching this show today is like, well, I bet to differ, Stephen, but that's your opinion. We got a different angle here. Which, listen, they're entitled to it. They'd have to, they can come out to the show and tell us their opinion, right? That's not a problem. But the idea is somebody can question that's like, well, I am a personal trainer and I do this. I got certifications. I know what I'm doing. And this is what I think it's better, right? And that's okay. But to your point, there is a variety of things, even within the same gym. I've seen actually in one gym, multiple trainers or personal trainers do different things. And some of them are much better than others in terms of how they do it. And also understanding that some exercises may not work for everyone. Certainly, like, everybody's different. And so you have to give them what's needed for them in terms of weight, in terms of exercise. They just get you to go and do things and come up the stairs, come down the stairs, push this, do the other, but they're not really working with you all the angles or teaching you like what is that impact, right?
Yes.
So that's one of the elements. Then we talked about nutrition. So some people go into different diets that also impact their life. And then you hit on the item of time, and I'm not talking about just the aging process, but time in terms of, we don't have time. That's an excuse. Everybody has. Everybody, like the first thing you tell, like, oh, do you go to gym? No, I don't have no time. I'm too busy. Well, busy doing what? I mean, we all busy doing life. I mean, we have to work, we have to make a living, we have to do things. But you said it as simple as that. You have time to brush your teeth, you have time to eat. My wife actually says that all the time. Food has to be, I mean, the gym has to be like food. You need it. Your time for you, your hour or half hour a day, whatever that time is, that's a dedication. You have to carve it out of your daily schedule or add it in the schedule to make sure you get that in. Otherwise, your body is not going to function correctly. And then it's everything else. I mean, COVID is an example. A lot of people, have been literally deprived of the gym, deprived of a lot of things. And certainly that is impacting their health. And therefore, now your body's immune system is not as active or not as strong as it should be. Because, I mean, exercising, being out there, pushing, all that stuff is going to change your body dynamics. So those are all elements that you've touched on. And really, like, again, it's kind of very crazy. Now, you focus on weight training primarily, correct?
Yes.
So the whole concept is heavyweight, with the right angle, with the right, proportions, and get the right machines, the right exercise.
It's not always heavy weights in the terms that a male would think of it. And maybe in a certain exercise, 5 pounds would be considered a heavy weight.
Interesting. Yes, actually. I mean, yeah, true.
Eh,
Depends what do you
You
work
know,
on.
you
That's
see, people don't know that just like in other modalities of sports, they do a lot of stretching. Well, you can stretch in strength training also, but I don't see people doing it. Okay, what they're doing is hitting muscle groups, so to speak. But in the to make it simple, Dr. Fitness USA is a company that as soon as a person shows up, we can inherently tell how great the person can be. What they're missing, the analogy is the car to do the driving. So we figure out the answer for the person and we set them up in a gym, and that we furnish the mentoring through videos and conversations like we're doing now. And we get the person to be self-sufficient, but they actually will go to the gym and work out because they have a car. So
what's the time frame? What's the time frame that you spend in those sessions? Like, in terms of how much time do you get them kind of like
okay, look at we have different levels, okay, but the person actually shows up, okay. Here's Dr. Fitness USA. So they didn't research me like Tony Robbins. Sometimes I'm lucky enough they say you're like the new Jack LaLanne. So now I'm the foremost expert in the world in what I do. So when they sit in front of me, what they're really asking is the impossible. They want a new body, but they're 15 or 20 years too late. So I can actually sit down. What's wonderful is, unlike other businesses, I can actually create the answer to their body. And that could take 1 or 2 weeks to come up with an architectural or a business plan. And then it starts, we call the person up, or we do it by Zoom, and we start to mentor them of where the gym is. Oh, I don't like going to a gym. Yeah, but the gym is 10 minutes across the street. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, I'm a member of this CrossFit gym. No, you don't want to be a member of a CrossFit gym. 75% injuries. Oh, I'm at a personal training gym. Yeah, but the personal training gym buys knockoff equipment. It's like 20 years old. No, you don't want to go there. So sorry, the research is to get a virtual camera and find out what gym would work for their body, or when they go in, they would have a good experience. So the climb would be easy. Now, once they start to experience that, we monitor the program, sometimes on a weekly call. But more than that, for me, if I create a program, that's like a magnificent piece of art. It's like a beautiful music or composition, and that's going to change their life. So each week or each month as it comes in, the composition or the musical score of the program is going to change over time. So I give you an example. If you are a woman, okay, and if you went into a gym, most of the time they would give you a machine to show you a chest press or dumbbells. Well, the machines are very hard on a woman's body, so you'd probably wind up injured, or you could probably never lift enough weight to make even a dent in your body. So now we're going to go to dumbbells. So it's very simple. So they lie you down on a bench and they give you these 4 dumbbells to chest press. 4 fears in life: rejection, abandonment, noise, and failure. When you take a woman and lie her down on a flat bench, she now feels out of control. So she's lost before she even started. I can put a person on an angulated or a 45-degree bench where the vision is directly in line with the mirror, and I have choices of adjustments. I can also ergonomically adjust the seat that supports their spine, and I can teach them how to use the movement properly. Now, the chest requires at least a minimum 25 pounds dumbbell in each hand. So you can show them with 10 pounds, you can show them with 12, you can show them to 15. The beauty of the program, it's always going to give you the strength you need as you go along without thinking about it. So like in the legs, it's not unusual that women go in the gym and they jump by 50, 60, 70, 100, 200 pounds in their leg press because the program is balanced. Everything is in unison. It's not like what trainers do is that it's called the art of confusion. They give you an exercise here, then they give them like circuit training, then they give an exercise here, and then they run up and down the stairs or they jump up and down. You know, it creates a schizophrenic brain. So it's not easy to detect. But when you come to Dr. Fitness or myself, when the program comes back, that one little program, I could sit there at night and work on it for 5 hours. Because it's very similar to acupuncture. Every point in the body is affected by the way I select those exercises and the amount of pressure or how much weight you're going to lift. So when the person gets back the program, I know it's perfect. They can never doubt it. Like a person, this is a real experience. Okay, so the person comes and they say, I'm doing what we call a lat pull now. I think I pulled my intercostal muscles. Well, it's impossible, okay? But a few days later, Batista comes to me and she says, didn't the woman go skiing? She said, oh, I hadn't skied in a long time, and now I went down the hills, and I'm so much stronger, and I'm twisting and turning, you see? Have another guy comes and says, oh, I have a shoulder pain. Oh, right. I go back on Facebook and I find that he's hang gliding from the mountain in Mexico. See, they're always, it's a catalyst in life. They're always blaming somebody outside the equation. The program actually puts you back in harmony or in balance, and it also takes away pain.
So let's talk about that. I know you and we had touched on it last time we spoke. So you actually not only focus on the muscle and all stuff, but you add more things like the pain management type of it, and like how to angle correctly, you know, the spine, the head position, all the stuff. So how does that actually work with the weight business?
Okay, because I'm talking to a male, but maybe the audience understands. Oh, look at.
Well, it's
oh, watch. I get along great. Look at. You look outside your window, and they've got a construction crew across the street, and they have to build the bricks up, or they have to paint the ceiling. So they're handing the tools or the brick one person at a time, trying to reach wherever they're doing. The other crew comes along, and they start to build a scaffold. Okay, so when they lift the brick, they only have to lift it 6 inches. They're working smarter. So if somebody has poor posture, I can create a scaffold within the exercise that puts their body in perfect anatomical position without them thinking about it. Now, when they try to pull on the weight or exercise with it, eventually the muscle will start to develop in the proper alignment, and they won't have to think about it. So when they stand up, they'll automatically have good posture. But the difference is when they do the exercise with the ergonomics, they're very comfortable. Okay, like I go into the gym and there's people that do what they call rear, back of the shoulders. They're doing a movement. Instead of stretching to the front, they're pulling to the back. Okay. So I come along and I look at the person, I say, well, why are you using two arms? They all do that. See? You're running the stress through the middle of your head. The machine is built to do one arm at a time. They go, oh, really? Now they do it, okay? So now they're doing the rear delt. I said, did you ever think of scooting over so you're closer to the machine? Oh, I didn't know that. See? These are only 2 samples, okay? Now Stephen Hercy comes along and the guy is big and strong and he's only using 90 pounds. I put the pin at 270 pounds and I'm smiling doing it. I won't tell you what the secret sauce is. I know how to adjust the equipment. Now, this is the greatest thing that men will relate to. They don't have a good adjustable bench for their chest presses, okay? I swear to God, this is absolutely true. I see growing men who have muscles. their butt is actually slipping off the seat. See, because the seat is flat straight, it's supposed to be tilted up so you don't slide off the seat. So the more they struggle, the more they think they're doing their body justice. They will never think, well, maybe my butt needs to be supported. So I'm trying to tell you that a lot of people don't really think in ergonomic terms in the gym. And it's not derogative because there are some amazing people in the gym, okay? Don't get me wrong. That's why I go to a gym. Like I tell people, it's an amazing place to get education.
Well, again, a lot of folks that go to gym, especially again younger folks, they don't feel the pain the same way that maybe at an older age you'll feel it. So that also kind of plays to it. Like, pain is kind of like, they got the muscles, they got youth. I mean, the energy is there, the adrenaline's kicking. So they may not even feel that pain. They can go crazy and not even, feel a thing. But then 10 years later, shit is not working.
Yeah.
but things are not working out. Everything hurts. They got arthritis. They got all kind of problems. Like their muscles are not, like to your point. I've seen this where people have imbalanced, body parts. I mean, one shoulder is bigger than the other one, or something like that. I mean, that's I've seen those in real life. I mean,
well, that's an absolute truth. Your observation. When they're young, nothing bothers them. Okay. They have what they call, this is new, where the woman lies, there's a flat bench or there's a machine, and they lie back on their back. And then they put a barbell across their top of their thighs, and they they do what they call a hip thrust.
Yep. Someone with it.
Hey, I'm seeing 16, 17-year-old girls doing hip thrusts with 400 pounds. Now, what person would want to do a hip thrust with 400 pounds? It's their upper body that has to be developed. So they copy guys. There's the world's changed. The thing is, for older people, we provide a global education so that men or women can be involved in taking care of their body with a simple plan of action and a lot of mentoring. So what does mentoring look like? You ever been on a computer, and even with Batista, and she says, I'm going to solve the problem. 3 days later, she can't solve the problem. So now we call up iMac Tech, and in 5 minutes, they solve the problem. So when people come to Dr. Fitness, I'm going to save them a lot of time, money, and energy.
Well,
okay, and
that's pretty cool.
You can't get better than that.
Well, you are confident. You have shown the results. Now, how many years you've been doing this?
Well, I've been doing it at least 55 years.
Damn. Well, that explains that. I mean, certainly that's a long run, and you've seen all these trends of gyms and different, I guess, programs and workouts, come over these ages. I mean, literally things have changed since the 60s and the 70s, and every decade there's a new wave of new programs and different looks and feels and machines, and and everybody's been. I mean, talking about innovation earlier, there's a lot of innovation in the world of fitness. And also nutrition, and also all these supplements and all the stuff, which will lead me to the next question. So 50 plus years, you're doing this. That means you've had generations that you've assisted and helped and shown proven results. So there's a guarantee behind it.
Absolutely, there's a guarantee. How can you lose? You just have to go to my website and look at the before and after pictures.
That's simple.
Well, it's not just people losing weight. It's their structure is different. And they actually own the program. So we have case studies where a person took my program 17 to 20 years ago, and you can see where they're at today using the program. We have people who opened up gyms or became personal trainers and things of that nature. I mean, everything is, Dr. Fitness USA is very transparent. Now, people ask, well, what type of person would go with you? Well, the person that goes with me is the one that wants to be a better person. Now, isn't that a strange ingredient? They just want to be a better person. So what would that look like? I had a case that the person did a program, like they call me up and they say, I did a program like 23 years ago. I said, oh my God, 23 years ago. Now you just remember my phone number? And they say, look, I actually living in your area. I'm looking for a personal trainer. Well, that's pretty strange. If they did my program, why would they need a trainer? They can update their program. Then they say to me, well, what's wrong with your trainer? Well, my trainer comes to me once or twice a week, works out with my wife and myself, and he sits downstairs in my home gym and he listens to music videos and falls asleep. Interesting. So now I present him a different picture. He says, no, I want a personal trainer. I said, well, okay, you want a personal trainer. Okay. Then it's not, it costs something, doesn't it? So it doesn't matter whether you say $1 or $2. You say, well, this is what it would take. He answers me, oh, it's too high. Now listen to me. If somebody says to you it's too high, they're not thinking about their health. He spends more time on his racehorses. He's not saying in your observations, because you took some before pictures, is what's going on my body reversible? One, okay, now you got somebody interested. If they say to you, is there a way we can do better in the pricing? So it's the art of negotiation, but people don't negotiate. They're looking for a cheap deal. And when you show them a picture of their body, they still don't believe it's them. So when I say it's a better person, it's just a person that asks a simple question. Okay, what would it take? Can I do the next step? Because there's three types of people. One says, I want help, but you do all the work. The other one says, I want help, but I'm going to sabotage whatever you try to do to help me, but I'm going to say I want help. And the other one says, well, okay, let's work together hand in hand. We'll go through life and tell me what you need, and we'll just do it. That's the most difficult person to find.
Well, you think that would be the easy one, but I guess not. So Stephen, we're talking about strength building and body, like real sculpting and designing the body with specific programs and specific format. Now, people often, I think there's this confusion between like weight loss and really building the body.
Okay.
And because I think that's the other thing. Most people are more concerned about losing weight than literally sculpting the body and stuff. And then at the same time, they don't want to be like bodybuilders, meaning they really compete in body.
Okay, so look, that's a really good question. If we hold up a medical chart that shows the natural aging process of a woman from 20 to 50, 60, 70, you will see whether they gain weight or not, their image is elevated or blown up or larger than life by 10, 15, 20 pounds. So if you were heavy when you were younger, you're going to be gigantic as you go down the scale. Your body's going to change magically through the hormones, whether you exercise or diet or any of those things. So a person watches their nutrition. I just had somebody, they call me up and they say, well, I just lost 50 pounds. Okay, well, how'd you do that? Sounded like you had a good system. But when I look at their age, they're 5'3", they're 143 pounds, they're still weighing too much weight. So the logical step is to actually add weight training to prevent the muscles from atrophiating more and to try to develop some type of muscles. It's harder as you get older, to change your metabolism. Metabolism means that when you have a lot of weight, your body is 75% lipids and about 20% water or protein things, give or take. It's just an idea. When you have a muscular body or a healthy body, it's 75% water. So the weight training allows you the ability to start on exercise that are endearing to your body. And in the body design system, we don't teach you to train more. We teach you to be comfortable and not to do things that are uncomfortable. See, personal training, if you're uncomfortable, it's great for business. They're not going to get you a pair of slippers. They're not going to get you a pillow. Okay. But in body design, in my program, you do not do things that are uncomfortable. Because when you're uncomfortable, your body cannot process the exercise efficiently. So the weight training is the way to go. And it's the easiest, the most fun. I mean, please, you go into a proper gym, you can put a woman on leg press if she knows what to do. She can leg press even in the first session 100 or 200 pounds and just leave the gym for a week and she'll feel like $1 million. And then you can go for your walk.
Now you have the strength to.
Yeah, you can feel your. I just read a guy in the gym, and I look at him and I go, "Oh, okay, well, he's about 200 pounds from his starting weight." He doesn't understand. He's got these huge muscles, but he's using too little weight, so his big muscles in his thighs doesn't feel what he's doing. See?
So let's talk about that. So really, what you're saying is that your mass, your body size, determines also how much weight you have to really put it to the work. Because if you give it less than what it needs, it's not going to affect it, right? Basically.
Wow, maybe you ought to be a student. You actually got it.
Well, I'm listening. I'm paying attention.
No, I'm telling you, there because you're an athlete. You know what? You can actually talk to people day in, day out, and they wouldn't come to your realization. They still look at me and say, "What are you talking about?"
Well, hopefully they will hear this show, watch it, and they'll get the point. I mean, it's simple.
And you can talk, and you can see when you're talking to me, when they're on the phone, we have a lot, they can ask a lot of questions, and I have answers for them. I'm not, oh, watch. Oh, sorry, I'm on a conference call. Can I call you back later? This is what's happening in the industry. You want to negotiate business. Oh, I'm busy. What do you mean you're busy? I love connecting with people. They're a gem. When a woman wants really information or a man, I'm only too happy to share. Because strength training today is the greatest thing in the world available to people. Because it's fun and it works. And it's proven.
I'm not even going to challenge you. I mean, at 55 years of doing this, I mean, I'm not even going there. I mean, I listen, I'll follow, I'll respect. So all I give you is the respect here. So
the question is your wife strength training? No.
No.
No. You see that? I can tell you factually. See, here's the thing. Batista was the best flamenco dancer in the world. So to cut it really short, she was very beautiful, etc., etc. Today, she has a different, because she's involved in my program, she has a completely different body. So when we go out and we go to meetings or social before, the women in the presence of men are old maids. They're not healthy looking. Their shape is not sightly. When I come home, I've got a female physique that's like a young stud.
She's gonna like to hear that right now.
Now, the great thing is she runs my business. I got to tell you, I have the feminine energy. I'm an artist, so I create from my silent world. Okay, so I can sit here and talk to you. Okay, we guys know how to hang out with our feminine side, but she's thinking all the time, even when she goes to sleep. The problem is if she thinks too much, she'll get old fast. So what happens is when I drive her to the gym and she follows my program, over the years, she's gotten 15 to 20 years younger. So when she goes into the gym and we say she leg presses 650 pounds, I can tell you factually that she's a better person the stronger she's become. She's much more endearing to me. And not only does she run the business, she's a sous chef. She's just the amount of work that she gets done in a J is sort of spectacular. Where I come in, this is funny, huh? I make sure that she has proper supplements, that I turn down the bed, that I fluff the pillow, and that I cover her, and I make sure that she has a glass of amino acid liquid in case she gets up during the night. I make sure she has proper things, grooming aids, like the best shampoo. Whenever she reaches for something in the cupboard, she doesn't have to go to the grocery mart. When she gets up in the morning, I know what to give her to wake up. You understand? I'm nourishing her because if she has the tools, she's going to be back at work. Now, that's great for us guys, but she loves being creative like that. But if I didn't do those things like most men do, she would burn out because they don't know when to stop. Women do not know how to say no. So we teach women to say no to loved ones in order not to hurt ourselves. So I have a student, it's kind of funny. She's going out with a guy who's fat and out of shape. But he's doing things for her, so she likes that. But she doesn't have enough balls to look at the guy and say, hey, listen, you need to go to the gym and work out this week, and there's no date next week. No, she says, oh, well, he's not too bad. His belly only hangs out over his pants, and I don't really looking at him when he turns his back on me. She's too chicken to say something to him. And women are like that. They're chicken to open and own who they are.
Well, not all of them. There's a whole new breed of women that will.
Okay, well, you're going to send them to me. I want those breed of women.
I do it. I deal with them. My wife is one of them, and we have plenty of them in her entourage, and they're tough, cookies. I mean, they know the stuff, and they good. She keeps me in check.
Yeah, we like women. We like strong women, guys.
True. Well, again, I mean, it takes two to tango, and as they say, there's behind every man a woman. There's behind every good, woman a man, and whatever the expression.
No, it says behind every good man is a woman about to pass him. That's how it goes.
Well, the original one, but now I think that's kind of reversible.
I think women. I've learned a lot from women, even at this stage of the game. I think that when I work, because Batista is so strong. At first, I thought that they're so illogical in the way they do things. Okay. But I found that her logic surpasses mine at a much higher level. So a lot of times this is the key of the thing. It took a long time to understand this because when I was coaching women about how to get a better deal in their relationships, especially with men, because they can have more, women are givers. So what they do is they offer a lot of advice or they do a lot of things. So I said, when men find out that you're smart, you're going to do all the work. So don't be too smart. So it took like 3-4 years. She started realizing that she was doing all the work. Because we guys know how to chill back. If you want to do the work, we'll let you do the work.
Well, I do have one thing with that. So true, but I have a belief. I don't think any woman can outsmart 100 men any given day.
Okay, yeah.
They have the ability and the strength to do it, and they can do it, but it's just a matter whether they apply or not, I think. And that's all there is. And some, they do dig in deep into their own will, abilities, and some are just more cozier and they're okay with this. Let things slide. But at the end of the day, I mean, look at you guys. I mean, you guys have a dynamic duo there. You are working together. You take care of her. She takes care of you. It's working. And you're doing it around fitness, which is awesome, and I think there is, and I see that today more than ever. See a lot of couples, together in the gym. A lot of couples are doing things together. They're working. They almost support each other's, I guess, love, which is to the body and the gym and the health. So that's a cool thing.
You're 100% right, but that's a younger generation. The older generation are not doing that. They're thinking they're doing yoga, they're walking, they're busy. They're not really understanding what their responsibility is. So again, Dr. Fitness USA is bringing global consciousness so that more people can participate in growing younger through the years.
Listen, and that's a very noble mission, I guess, because to your point, I mean, yes, I mean, who says that we cannot live healthy, happy for as long as we live? And it takes a little bit of everything, and you got to keep up from an early on and build in. So I had one question. You mentioned supplements, that you bring her and the amino acids and stuff like that. So you're not opposed to having supplements, but is there any type of supplements that we shouldn't go after? Because a lot of people think muscle, let me get some protein shakes and all that stuff. Okay.
I know about supplements, okay, but It depends what company you're dealing with. It depends who you buy from. The supplement world is almost as complex as a body design. It's very complex. Okay. So in my world, I'm not in the supplement business, even though I'm a wholesaler. So you would think that a person would say, excuse me, Stephen, I want to gain some results, or I want to have more energy and things like that. So what I do is I run my programs with no supplements, so they know that it's a program working. But as they know me, they never stop and say, hey, listen, I'd like to follow your program. Oh, I'm with this company and I'm with that company, So it's an area you don't want to really get mixed up in, because what they'll do is they'll take the supplement and then they'll go read it and then try to research it on the lab you understand? People, my program, I can hold the person responsible for. When she starts about nutrition, you don't know where that can go. Now, when I take supplements, I take different supplements than Batista because she's a woman.
Sure, different bodies, different needs.
And she takes different supplements at night too to go to sleep. You understand? And since I'm a wholesaler, I have 5 or different something. But I can show you. I have a whole box of free supplements, that you get, and it's still sitting there. So I put out this package and I look on the web, and boy, the information is terrific, right? Then I put it in a drink, man. As soon as I take a sip, I throw it in the garbage. You got to be careful of what you're taking. So it's better to if you have a nutritionist, you can follow your nutritionist. If you want to ask Stephen Hercy something, maybe. But unless you're on a program and I can monitor exactly what is it that you're doing, the nutrition world is as complex as a personal trainer. I didn't say that personal trainers are no good. If I need a personal trainer, the difference is I can hire a bodybuilding champion to teach you the program. The difference is I'm going to give him the script of what to do. He's not interested in you being comfortable. That's ridiculous. I commend trainers because trainers need to take care of their bodies also. And it's a lot of responsibility. And then they go train somebody privately. That's a lot of energy.
Well, it is. I mean,
in the big scheme of things, I would tell people to go to Dr. Fitness USA, because we have Dr. Fitness USA, we have Dr. Fitness International, and do some meditation. Listen to the 350 videos of what it is that I'm talking about and see if you'd like to work with our company. You know what I mean? The benefit of these shows and things like that is do your homework. But a lot of people don't do their homework. They show up and they say, oh, what's different than you and a personal trainer? Well, what's the difference between a doctor and a lawyer or a nurse? What's the difference between a small Toyota and a big Cadillac? What's the difference between a Cadillac and a Mercedes? You know what I mean? Because people want the magic fix. They want you to actually give them a new body without working for it.
Well, that will be the day that happens. We will be robots. We can do that to robots. We can't do it to humans.
Yeah, well, a lot of people think so.
Well, again, yeah, they might, but I mean, it's not working.
Look, we do dozens of podcasts. The nutritionist is 80 pounds overweight. You would think after talking to me, she's talking about strength training. She's still trying to sell them a nutrition program. So Dr. Fitness USA doesn't exclude anybody. If you need a chiropractor, they're very efficient. If you need an acupuncturist, they have a different type of energy. But when you leave either environment, you're going to have to go to a gym and work out. And it's better you have a plan of action so that you don't get ripped off by the gym or the trainer.
Simple advice.
Yeah, it's straight to the point.
All right, I'll take it. Well, again, I mean, listen, people are listening, and hopefully they'll get some solid tips here and some solid, clear, guidance. I mean, from your opinion, of course, and which is valid, and you have the validation based on the experience and the time and the results you've achieved and you've shared with a lot of people. And again, the dynamic duo that you guys run, you and Batista, is unique in its own, and it's fun. And again, to your point, someone who was a ballerina and a dancer coming into this world of really a different world for her. I mean, she's coming from a very unique, uh, soft and magical world, if you want to call it that way, to like a nice gym, concept with weights and heavy duty stuff. But she made it, and she looks great. So that's I told you, you changed her life.
Exactly. Where is that book here? I thought I had it here. I wrote a book here. What's it called? Posture for Power. Oh, here. Look, look, here, look. See, there's my calling card. Posture for Power.
All right.
It's got my name on there. It's got Batista's name. Spiritually balanced. It comes from the work of. It includes the philosophy of Carl Jung and Eric Berg. It's good.
Well,
look. I used to use this business guy. I don't even know if you can see it or present it, but you see, it says International Body Designer.
I see it. I like the concept of the body design. That's pretty unique.
I have a lot of fun when I go out in public. I still do that sometimes. Even when I go for a walk, I have a big card, and it says Dr. Fitness USA.
Yeah.
So even the strangest person will come on and say, "Oh, you're Dr. Fitness USA? Yeah. How are you doing today?" See.
Hey, it's a
the
good
object is to get a person to slow down and to have an open mind, and for them to get to say, "Tell me more."
Again, I mean, yeah, it's. But by the way, that is pretty catchy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Whatever you came up with, that's pretty catchy name. And I mean,
look, it works. I've gone up to some amazing people, and I hold the badge up, and I say, and people are talking to a seminar leader, and they're saying to the seminar, they want to do business with them. The seminar leader turns around, and I hold up the thing, and I says, "What's going on with your body? I can help you." And they go, "Oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy?" It's the guy that's going to change your life. That's what it means.
Well, and I think we're coming to the end of the show, but you really hit it on one of the key elements. Life is too short, and one of the best thing that we have is our health, and how and if you have a good healthy body, a healthy mind, you have a healthy life, you have a changed life. And that's really what matters. I mean, no matter what we do in life, if you live not healthy, you have everything hurts and you're in pain, you're aging quick, you're not living the life, you're not even happy with yourself, then because that causes multiple problems in mental state, all this stuff. So looking good, feeling good is actually a good way to be. So whatever can get us there, that's what we want. I mean, I think that's everybody's wish. The problem, to your point, is, do we work for it? And that's really what it takes. You got to take the commitment and really get it done.
I think they need guidance, because when I see what Batista's done with women in Belgium, France, Africa, Italy, she works with women all over the world, some even in groups of women. The reason that they didn't get to exercise is because they had no program, and they didn't have any idea of their ability, or that they even like it. They only knew what they see on television, jumping up and down, or they say, "I can't work out 4 times a week." Well, who told you to work out 4 times a week? You see, it's gossip. It's gossip. So they're not educated, asking the right questions. Oh. So here's the thing, like in closing, so Batista's working with this amazing woman. Okay. Now she says, "No, I'm not interested in the program." So I get on the Zoom call, and when I finish with her, she says, "Oh, I want to do the program now." So sometimes it works myself talking, and sometimes Batista. So now Batista is working with her, and she finally gets her to lift a chest press with a dumbbell, and she's going, "Oh!" And at first it's 5 pounds. Now she's going 10 pounds, right? A week later goes by. Now I get on there, and she says, "Oh, what should I do?" She says, I say, "Well, show me." Batista says she's having difficulty lifting the dumbbell. So I say, "Well, show me." So she shows me how to do the dumbbell press. I says, "Oh, good grief, can you go get the 15-pound dumbbell?" She says, "Okay." I says, "Well, why don't you just lift it and do it?" "Well, I don't have 2 of them. I'll do 1 of them." She does it perfect, see?
So what was wrong?
My confidence, and my confidence that the program gave her enough strength to lift it easily.
So again, but you're right. It's motivation.
Now
You
you see, once they lift, once they lift the weight and they're successful in it, then you've got them. Now, if I asked her to lift at 15 pounds and she couldn't do it because my program was too weak, then she feels self-defeated. So weight's a factor. So next time it's going to be 20 pounds, and then it's going to be 25 pounds. And that's going to be her starting weight, because the chest muscles require a lot of activity.
but
Women hold their emotions in their chest. So when they get to 20 or 25 pounds, all those emotions are released automatically, better than going to a therapist. It's
well,
been proven.
there's nothing like a good workout, I tell you.
There you go. You got it.
But everything has its own place. Therapists do have their own place, but certainly workout is a good release, of stress and a lot of things. I mean, I have a joke at work. I say, you know what? Whenever there's a punching bag, when we're stressed out, just come and punch the bag.
Yeah.
You know? But you're right. Working out, you're giving all that energy, and getting some dumbbells, some curls, whatever you need to do to
So
make it.
the whole point of the conversation is to let your listeners know that Dr. Fitness USA is a company that comprises Dr. Fitness USA, the new Jack LaLanne, and Batista, the foremost expert in the world in strength training and anti-aging for women, that we can help you to get successful, but to come with an open mind and an open heart.
That's a better commercial than I've done, man. That was good.
Yeah, well, if your mind can conceive it and your heart can believe it, then Dr. Fitness USA as a team can help you achieve it.
Woo, powerful.
Look, this is an actual source. I'm Dr. Fitness USA, but I actually gave the company or sold the company. I didn't charge her anything for it, but I sold the company to a woman. Dr. Fitness USA is a woman's own company. And I expect women to support her in what she's trying to achieve in global health for women. And she does work with men also. And I work with some amazing men who actually know how to lift weights, and they didn't even know there was a system in lifting weights. Why they went with me is because I showed them a better path where they wouldn't get injured and they'd actually get to the gym and work out.
Hey, you
And
doing?
then, wait a second, then I always ask them, is your wife working out? And the answer is always no. No, what do you mean? That's very selfish. You need to take your wife and send her to the gym. Or you have to get them to buy her a program and present it to her as a gift. Never tell women how much it costs. Always tell them this is a gift, because women don't know if they're going to follow through. So if you put a price tag on it, they feel guilty before they even start. Because women do inappropriate things. A guy's supposed to show up, and right away the woman will jump in and try to protect the guy. And, women need to chill out and let men take care of them. Because we're slower thinkers. We're absolutely slower thinkers. We need time to process things. We guys are pretty unique also. If you give us a little patience, we'll figure things out. And if you don't like what we're doing, just say no.
Well, they know how to do it, but like I said, they can control the dynamics, so they control it. Well, listen, Stephen, it is a true pleasure, and we've had a very interesting hour. I mean, we can go on. I'm sure we can spend another hour. Um,
Sure.
I think it's well delivered. Many good insights, many good guidances and directions and directives, as well as real straight up advice. That is again, will it be acceptable by most? Probably some may disagree, but that's okay. The key here is there is a program that works. It is dedicated to women primarily, and it changes their dynamic and the way they see fitness as a whole. And I mean, we had the show with Batista. You just really just kind of gave it a little bit more of a hump right now, and a nice little push. I mean, that's it. I mean, you took it like tomorrow is Wednesday, right? It's hump day, so you really got over the the actual curve there, or the mount. So it is an interesting concept, and again, probably many women may not see the weight as part of their fitness, and I think that's really the core piece here is that it's different. You can and you will and you're able to do it. Just a matter of finding how to do it and getting the right guidance to do it. Am I getting that right?
You got it perfect.
All right.
Yeah. I have to say that it's been a joy just hanging out with you. But you actually express it perfectly.
I am to please. So, Stephen, thank you for being on the show tonight. It was great. And for folks, as you were watching or listening in, thank you for tuning in. We had a very interesting, fun exchange here and very deep stuff. It's a matter of reflecting on it, and you will see the value as well. Check out, the link of the Dr. Fitness USA in the description of the show. Check them out. They did promise a free consultation if someone comes in from here. So, hey, take it. It's free. You don't lose anything. If the program is for you, use it. You'll benefit from it and share with others. And that being said, Hurricane H here. You have a great night, and we'll talk in a different show soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.